Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time.
None of that affects how you are going to change the world.
That's right.
No, it does not take one person to change the world, but it takes one person to believe in themselves.
Yes.
That they can make a difference.
I love
to
that.
Inspire others.
And that's why, for me, I try to make it my purpose now to try to help other people realize their self-worth, because it's so sad that so many of us, we get destroyed based off of what other people have to say.
Yeah.
I would say do it in your own way, make sure you're doing it on your own accord, and take a risk.
Go out there and live your life passionately. Believe in everything that you're doing and believe in the fact that you will accomplish every single goal. Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to empower the voices around you by listening, supporting, and amplifying those who might not have the voice to share what is on their hearts. By lifting each other up, we create a stronger, more inclusive community where everyone's story has the power to inspire and drive meaningful change. I am your host, LaShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on right now. Well, my friends, the summer is winding down, my beautiful people. I hope you guys are out there enjoying every little bit of the summer that is left. The kids are about to go back to school. Labor Day is fast approaching. We're going to be taking a few trips here and there, visiting family and friends, having some barbecues. I hope that you have been enjoying this last week, actually, that we were with you as well. We spoke with Julie Flores last week about the eye of truth. Have you been seeing people through a different lens? Have you been understanding people a little more, listening to them a little deeper, trying to get a different perspective on their views? I hope that you've taken the time to just surround yourself with different individuals, people that are a little different, think a little different, feel a little different than you, so that you can gain a better understanding of the various people that surround us. We are in an election season right now, and everybody's voice is really trying to be heard. You need to sort of surround yourself with those people that kind of speak your language, but also want the same things and desire the same things that you do. So that's what I'm hoping for you this week. I will say that this past weekend, I had an amazing time. I've been trying to hold on to every little bit of summer that I possibly can and actually, enjoy it as much as I can as well. As you know, I do so much and I'm out every weekend and sometimes during the week. So I do need times that I should spend with myself, unwind a little bit, and basically be in sort of peace and a little bit of serenity. This weekend, I actually wasn't. I decided to go into the city. My friend Shefik invited me once again to the Hip Hop Festival, so I want to share that with you right now. So this week in Unity in the Community, oh my God, I was the media correspondent for the Hip Hop Film Festival in Harlem. It was held at the Apollo Backstage Theater. It was amazing. Now, the Hip Hop Film Festival focuses on stories from the culture, narratives that are reshaping culture across a broad spectrum and influencing how we watch visually impactful narratives. Over the past 9 years, the beautiful CR Capers and the festival has been sponsored by the National Endowment of the Arts, Sundance, Revolt, BET Networks, Netflix, Final Draft, 1010 Wins, DOS Dudes Pictures, Ounce Water, as well as New York Life, Verizon, and that's just to name a few. They host over 200 filmmakers from every continent and 3,000 film enthusiasts from all over the world at a dedicated theater in New York City. And this year it just happened to be at the backstage of the Apollo Theater for what they call 4 Days of Fresh. The Hip Hop Film Festival also features the Master Sci-Fi Cipher, where Hollywood insiders give their expertise on how to negotiate distribution deals, the business side of getting a screenplay greenlit, and a successful web series, how to find a major movie on a budget, and more. The festival awards the distinction of Best of the Fest in over 21 categories, including Best Feature, Best Documentary, Best Web Series, and more. As I mentioned, I had the honor of being the media correspondent. I was interviewing everyone who walked through those doors, down from the participants to the screenwriters, the producers, these well-known actors. I was so impressed to be among such great talent, impressive people. These people creating independent films for all of us to see. Some of them actually have been picked up by major streaming networks and also major networks. So it was a delight. It ran for a whole week. They had panels, they had discussions, they had industry insiders, professionals there that can help guide these independent filmmakers, artists, and creators on their path. It was the best of the best. And to have it held at the Apollo backstages was even more iconic. Everyone felt the spirit of the event. We had people from all over the world, Belgium, London, France, Australia. It was awesome. And for me to have the opportunity to speak with every last one of them, asking them, what they enjoyed most about the film festival, what was important about having a platform such as that so they can showcase their talents, was actually amazing. I spoke to the young and I spoke to the old. If you saw my picture earlier, that was John Canada Terrell, who has been in More Better Brews and Boomerang and The Temptations. He's a seasoned actor and he's still creating independent films. So it was truly a delight. Last year, I also attended. I was really just Shuffick's help last year, but to be in the forefront, to be there introducing not only Our Unity to these amazing people, but also showing up to make sure that their voices were heard. So it was an amazing time, and I advise you guys to follow C.R. Capers, who is the creator and founder and CEO of the Harlem Film House, which features the Hip Hop Film Festival every single year. So, as I mentioned, it is about empowering voices. That's exactly what I experienced this past weekend. The Hip Hop Film Festival allows these creators to express themselves through film, through animation, through short series. Every last one of them had a different story to tell, and I thought it was amazing. We had all genres of the entertainment. They had some powerful films that spoke to who we are as a people. We had also a gentleman who won for telling the story of Marcus Garvey. So it is, as I mentioned earlier, election season, and it is time for all of us to empower our voices. And I want to share with you a beautiful young lady who right here in her own community is doing that same thing, empowering not only herself, but those around her. So I want to tell you the title of the show is Empowering Voices, and we will be speaking with Haniyyah Myricks, who was born in Roosevelt, New York, and later moved to Merrick, New York, where she currently resides with her family. Raised in a household that values community and education, Haniyyah discovered her passion for leadership and activism early in life. Her journey in community engagement began in Centennial Elementary School in Roosevelt, where she actively participated in the Technology Club, Student Council, and National Elementary Honor Society. These formative experiences not only fueled her academic growth, but also ignited a deep desire to positively impact her community. Embracing her cultural heritage, she also took part in Kwanzaa celebrations as a dancer, deepening her connection to her roots. The transition from an all-black middle school to an all-white high school in Belmore, New York, posed significant changes for Haniyyah, highlighting the stark contrast in racial and cultural dynamics. This experience underscored the importance of representation and community, motivating her to found the Black Student Union at her high school. The BSU quickly became a vital platform for Black and brown students to discuss issues, learn about their history, and build a sense of belonging. The club's success also inspired the creation of other cultural organizations such as the Asian American, Latino, and Muslim student associations, further promoting diversity and inclusion in her school. Throughout her high school years, Haniyyah has taken on various leadership roles, including serving as president of the Freeport Roosevelt Youth Council and working with the NAACP to deepen her commitment to civil rights and youth empowerment. Recognized with numerous accolades, including the Best Project Award at the Long Island Youth Summit, she continues to use her voice and platform to advocate for social justice and foster unity within her community and beyond. So please help me welcome the beautiful Haniyyah Myricks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here, my friend. I'm so glad that you made it after all that you had to do throughout the day. Again, your bio speaks for itself, but I still want to dig into everything that you have going on in your world. I met this young lady at an NAACP event a couple of months ago, and I'm telling you, I was just so impressed with her. I find you to be so humble, but yet so self-aware of who you are and what you want in life. And I kind of wanted to discuss a little about that today, okay?
Yes, thank you. And of course, we can talk.
Okay, I love it. All right, so we mentioned, obviously, you're still in high school.
Yes,
which
definitely.
you give off this very mature vibe. I'm thinking you're on your way to college, but you have one more year.
One more year, rising senior.
Oh my God, tell me a little about your couple of years in high school, considering you started during the pandemic, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from 8th grade, we were all online. I only probably went in once a week, like with my alphabetical last name with M, and I went during like 1 week with all the other letter M's.
Wow.
Yes. So it was like it was only 2 people in the class, so it was really hard to really connect with the school community. So that was 8th grade. But as 9th grade came, we started like going back to school. But we still had to wear a mask. We had shields around the desk.
Right.
So many people, I didn't know what they looked like until 10th grade year. It was a very weird transition.
Right.
But yeah, so that was like COVID. It was like, it went by really quick. And I feel like I'm still stuck in middle school kind of. And I'm like, wow, I'm going to 12th grade.
Yes.
I'm still like, wait, I'm still in 8th grade. I'm still in middle school. Like, we went too fast here. Like, we need to dial it back. So yeah, so that's what I really feel like the COVID pandemic really was for me.
Right.
I feel like it went by really fast, and I feel like I still did very good in my work. I still kept up my 4.0 GPA, and I really was like staying consistent, but I felt as if the social life was kind of declining a bit. So yeah.
How was, once you guys were back into school completely, how was the adjustment then? I mean, I know you missed being with your peers, correct?
Yeah. So I mean, everyone was excited to see each other. Of course, everyone still had their mask on, so it was like, ooh, should I give that person a hug? Should I not? Aww. It was that whole kind of like barrier between our peers. So yeah, it was really uncomfortable a bit, but I'll say we all transitioned quickly and easily. I know during lunch we kind of went outside, so it would be more air enough for us to talk to each other within a tight-knit space. So,
I love that. I love that. Well, now you are approaching the last year of high school.
Yeah.
I understand that you were first in an all-black school. That was in junior high school, correct?
Yes.
And then you went into an all-white school. Tell me about, that transition and how easy it was for you to adapt to that.
Yes, definitely. So my parents, I thank them for everything, the guidance they give me, the advice they give me, and they really wanted me to succeed in a better environment to where they have more sustainable resources for longevity. So it would be available for me at a faster pace. We have to wait on things. So that's when I moved to Merrick in order to further my education. And I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, because I was always surrounded by people who loved me for me, who deeply care about my well-being and stuff like that. So I really did not know what I was getting myself into moving to Merrick. I knew my dad said, oh, it's going to be a few, white people there and stuff like that. But I really didn't understand how that would really affect me.
Right.
So as I went on my first day of school, I also had two brothers also they were going to middle school. I was going to high school. So
Right.
we weren't in the same school at all.
Right.
So fast forward to the first day of school, they came back home with good news. Everyone loved them. Everything. On me, on the other hand, it was my first day, and I came back home crying. I was like, I couldn't do this. Get me out to school right now. I need to go back. I miss my old cheer team.
Wow.
And yeah, so I'm like, what is going on? Like, I felt like no one there. Of course, I had no reputation that looked like me. There was
Right.
only one black teacher there. So it was
Right.
like, who can I really connect to coming from a whole totally different environment?
Right.
So I'll say I adjusted, but it really took time.
Really?
It really took time because I had to understand that I was worth more
Yes.
than what I was like feeling.
Yes.
So I really had to really center myself around people who reminded me of my worth and that I could excel in any type of environment,
Yes.
you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to realize it? Because I know your parents was like, girl, you better get over it. You're going back to that class, to that school, and you're going to eventually love it.
Yes.
I know it was probably different because obviously your friends are not there.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, you're seeing a lot of different people who did not look like
Right.
you. But how long did it take for you to ease into your space and your identity
Right.
in that new school?
Most likely towards end of freshman year into sophomore year, because freshman year I'm like, okay, I'm joining clubs, like I'm not gonna let this defeat me. So I joined Hope Club, helping our planet Earth. I was a student coordinator for the floor. It's like that role, whatever.
Right.
And then I also joined FBLA, like Women in Business. I joined I was in cheer. It was another club. It was more clubs. I was involving myself in everything I could. So to get to know everyone, to get to know different people, because they might all look the same, but they don't have the same story. So I was like, let me stop judging people based on how they look and let me just get to know them for themselves. So that's when I just joined every club. And by sophomore year, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is really not my thing. So then I kind of stuck through with different clubs like cheer. Then I did softball my sophomore year, no, my freshman year as well. So yeah, when I say I did everything, I did everything.
Oh my God!
I
You was
tried
gonna
out
find
softball.
where you belong.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
did softball. I was like, okay, no.
Oh my
And I even
God.
did tennis and golf my sophomore year. I was like, let me just try everything. I
Yeah.
tried everything, and then really by I guess junior year, I really found myself, and I'm like, I want to start BSU. I'm starting this club. I think it was Erica Ford. She was at Estate John's Dream Gala, and she spoke, and she was like, if you want something, then you just do it.
Yeah.
You can't wait on the one. You can't just have that. Something's not gonna come to you to say do it. You have to do it
Exactly.
yourself. So I'm like, I'm doing BSU. I found my advisor. I'm like, we're starting clubs. Even if they say we're not official club, we're
Right.
still gonna have club meetings.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's when I started to get really comfortable,
come out
just
of yourself.
trying everything out and seeing how it worked for me, and just keeping the race out of the picture and just focusing on the people themselves.
Well, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I love everything that you just said, because that's basically how we start to, understand others and get along, is by
Yeah.
joining the activities, is becoming part of what is surrounding you. So knowing that this school was predominantly white, was it easy for you to find friends then once you started delving into these different activities?
Well, I want to thank Christina and Jolene Shaw. They are twins, right? They came up to me. I had band. I played the clarinet, and I even stopped playing. They didn't play the same type of music Roosevelt did. We were playing Bruno Mars. We were playing.
Yes.
But then when I came to Merrick, it was a different type of flow. I'm like, I don't feel the beat.
Yeah.
Come on, where's the cymbals? Come on,
Where's
we got
the rhythm?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I really did not really I really didn't like band at that point. I'm like, I can choose another elective. That's why I did crim. But they really came up to me and they said, you're going to be a part of our friend group. You're going to stick. We're going to last through the 4 years and stuff like that. Of course, we drifted off kind of because I found other people that I really are really close-knit to. But they really helped me. Their dad even tutored me for geometry regions. It was I really thank them for everything. Like, it was like during the Christmas break, they bought me gifts and I gave them gifts. It was really nice. So like, I really thank them, because without them, I don't know how fast I would have acclimated to the school. But
Right.
yeah.
That's amazing. Did you notice immediately while you're in that school the difference, you know, of that particular school system versus what Roosevelt would have been like, and why
Yeah.
your parents decided to sort of
Definitely.
send you?
I didn't know how. Roosevelt is great.
It is.
It has an apprenticeship program now.
Yes.
The students there want to really thrive.
Mm-hmm.
There's very smart students there that I know of, and people are very talented in Roosevelt. However, it's systems that were created that need work. So
Yes.
by the time I graduate high school, the systems aren't going to be fixed by the time I graduate. So I needed to be selfish and put myself first, while also pouring back in my community in different
Right.
ways.
Yes.
So yeah. So I noticed a difference between like the guidance counselors, kind of, like, kind of like, it was like more structured in a
Right.
way. Like, I know in Roosevelt you could take different classes either year, but some classes were cut off, so all students in the same grade are on the same type of thing. So in 10th grade, I took AP World, but in Roosevelt, you can take AP World in whatever grade.
Right.
But they do it this way so that the people in the same grade can study together. They
Right.
are on the same page, So when they start applying for colleges, everyone kind of has the same thing going on,
Right.
depending on your grade.
I see what
And
you're
it's easier to follow that system than to have your mind all over the place. That's just one example. And the clubs they have so many clubs. They have a newspaper club. Like, I'm a managing editor for the Cougar Crier. They don't really
Wow.
have that. We have a newspaper.
Right.
They have
It's the resources.
yeah, they have Cougar TV. They have a whole studio in my
Yeah.
school, and I'm gonna be a news anchor next year. So
She
they
gonna
don't.
be taking my
Yeah.
job.
They're work. Roosevelt is definitely working towards many programs,
Right.
and the teachers there definitely care about their students.
They do.
But it's at like to what extent, you
Yeah.
know. So
No,
yeah, I
it-
definitely noticed some differences.
I think, in certain communities, it's unfortunate that they don't receive the same resources that
Right.
a lot of other communities receive. And
Yes.
I know that it's the parents. We have
Yeah.
to step up, and we have to go to these meetings, and
Yeah.
we have to share what our kids actually need and
Right.
what they deserve,
Right.
And I know a lot of people that work at Roosevelt, and
Yes.
they genuinely
Yes, they do.
care for their students, and they
Yes.
care about their job, but they're limited in what they
Yeah.
can actually provide
Right.
sometimes. So I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
were able to adapt so well,
Yeah.
and that you took on the opportunity to create a space where there wasn't. So let's talk about that for a minute. The Black Student Union, it has become a significant platform for Black and brown students
Yes.
and at your school. So how do you envision its impact on the school community in the years to come? And tell me how it's impacting even now.
Okay, that is a full pack question, but I'll break it down.
Yes, do.
Yes. So BSU is like my baby. Like,
Mm.
I love BSU. I wanted to start at BSU in 10th grade, but there was some people telling me, like, that's not going to work. This school has never been into something like that. The only
Yeah.
thing we have in the school is Jewish student union.
Right.
And I'm like, if there's a Jewish student union, then there can also be a Black student union,
That's right.
to have more cultural appropriation. I know that's a religious club, but this could be a new cultural club
Yes.
for people to express their culture.
Right.
So I was in the library one day in April. Our first meeting was April 3rd, 2024. But it was like we had to plan. So probably in March, we were planning the whole month of March. And I was in the library, and I was just around my friends, Kay, Donald. And I was like, guys, I'm starting at BSU. Like, let's go. Like, because after I heard Erica Ford, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like, what's stopping us? Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. So Kay was like, I'll be your vice president. I'm like, good. Who's going to be my secretary? Who's going to be my treasurer? And then we just did it like that. Of course, we had elections, but everyone was just saying, I want
Right.
to be like that. So we had elections, and we picked people for the certain rules, and we established our executive committee. Our advisor, Mr. Jimenez, he's the special education chairman. He's also Black and Cuban, I believe. And he really, like, helped us, like, give us that motivation and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. And the impact was the first meeting. There was over 50 plus 60 students.
I love it. But
Yeah.
wait, of all diverse
Yeah, it was
nationalities.
Jewish people there, Asian people there. Everyone was welcomed.
Wow.
Everyone was welcomed. Caribbean, of course. People from Haiti were there. It was great. And we had Taco Bell there. We had donuts.
Oh my
We had like all the
God.
foods for them and everything. And it was just like, wow. Like, and we were playing our music. Like,
Right.
we was like, we walked in and we were playing our little Drake, our little Meek Mill. Like, when we walked in, everyone was like, hey, I know this song. I'm like, yeah, I know you do.
Oh my
So we really give it our
God.
own vibe. We really
Right.
like show people like what they listen to at home, they could also be in school, of course. Like, you know, so they don't feel like they have a community at school, you know.
Right, right.
So the impact was really great. I mean, everyone was excited to come to the meetings. We were laughing sometimes the whole meeting. I know one meeting we were supposed to be talking about the history of Little Rock 9, but we just had to start having whole conversations and just was talking to each other. Like, of course, we have like history, like
Right.
lessons throughout the club, but like sometimes we just get off track and we just have fun with
Yes,
each other, and that's
yes.
really the most important part.
No, it is.
So
It is.
yeah, so the impact is really great, and for years to come, our executive committee is going to have to like set like kind of like an agenda for the next president coming up
Okay.
and keep our motto alive.
Okay.
And you know, so there's like going to be student leaders in each group, and I'm positive that this is going to keep going strong.
I love
and of
that.
course, I'm going to keep my connection to the group and stuff like that. So
Well, do you invite all grades
Yes,
to?
we-
Okay, so
all
all grades are
grades.
invited.
Yes,
It's
all
not just
grades.
whatever grade you're in, this is only available to
Yeah.
you. So tell me how it was, because to know that it was a diverse
Yeah.
community of kids
Yeah.
that were showing up to, and they
Right.
probably just needed a place where they could feel
Yeah.
where they belong
Right.
to, even in the midst of them, you know, coming from a certain family, a certain background, a
Right.
certain nationality. They still are kids
Yeah.
that are growing up in your era, you know what I
Yes,
mean, and
definitely.
enjoy the same things as you do.
Yeah.
So tell me, I mean, did any kids actually share with you like how important it was that you did that and how happy they are that you
Yes.
went out on that path?
definitely.
Yeah.
I say about our third meeting, because the second meeting we were planning a movie screening
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like show a movie screening, explain the historic significance behind it and stuff like that. Then the third meeting, we had a meeting with Cahoon leaders. And this is another school, high school in our district.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we spoke with their student leaders to explain like what can we do next year,
Right.
because in our school after AP week, the school kind of is really busy.
Right.
So May, our club started in April, and then June. So we really only had like 2 months ish to really do stuff.
Right.
So we had to start off slow, and next year we're gonna go.
Bigger.
Yes.
Yes.
So definitely. So we really connected with those student leaders at Cahoon and people in our club. I know Suhani was talking about, you know, I really thank you for giving me the voice to really express my concerns, because she had issues that she wanted to express about the school, you know, and wanting to spread awareness about certain issues. And she
Right.
was like, wow, thank you so much. Like, even for my birthday, she wrote on the birthday card, I would have never been able to, you know, really express my voice if it wasn't for this club.
Oh my
and everyone being
God.
around, being so vulnerable with each other was really great.
I love
Yeah.
it. How did you determine like the conversations that you were going to have? Because I know, you know, as you mentioned, you did teach history. How
Yeah.
did you, you know, sort of come up with those ideas? Did you work within the team? Did you have an adult at all
Yeah.
that was part of the BSU as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
so our ideas were really from me, like, thinking, like, what do our students need right now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, what is really going to help them do good in their school, feel comfortable walking in the halls,
Yeah.
you know, not being scared to really share their voice. So
Mm-hmm.
I really felt like I talked to my executive committee, and it was, like, a lot of issues with the Israel and Palestine conflict.
Yeah.
So that issue, the students in our club really was like, we need to find a way for all the students to unite.
Right.
And that's when I planned another meeting. I planned another meeting with all the student leaders, like, so the Asians, the Latinos, the student government president, and oh my God, the Jewish student leader president. And we discussed ways to have other people understand each other so we can all thrive in a school environment.
Right.
And it went good. We had another meeting following up, and now next year we're really going to celebrate all these different type of cultural events. Like, I know we're going to have Hindi events and stuff like that.
Yes.
So because of BSU, everyone was like, wow, like, my voice really matters. And that's when people started asking me, how do I create this club? How do I create that
Yes.
club? You know, so
now you are the blueprint.
yeah,
You
I would
are
say
the
that.
blueprint. No, girl, you are, and a leader in your own right. And all it took was your experience,
Right.
because that's what it was.
Right.
You didn't feel that you had an outlet, and so therefore you created it.
Yeah.
And now that just sparked that change in everyone else to desire the same
Yeah.
thing. That is how unity, voices are being heard. That is how we strengthen each other's relationships, supporting and listening. And that's what you did. Oh my God, this was a perfect show, girl. So tell me about now, you're running this program. Do they elect different presidents every year? Are you still the president?
Yeah, I'm still the president because last year we did elections for
Okay.
this school year.
Okay.
Since we did it like towards the end, like
Right.
2020, like we did 2023, 2024, but it was really at the end of the school year, so it really wasn't a full school year. So
Yeah.
we elected presidents for this school year.
Right. I see
So
what
after
you're
this
saying.
school year, it's going to be a new exec committee.
I
So
love
I'm
that.
excited to see what the club is going to be like when I'm not here.
Yeah,
So-
yes. I'm so impressed with that. So tell me a little about leadership.
Right.
You know, you have that. You know how to be a leader. You know how to get people to rally behind you. Where did you get that, do you think?
Maybe from dancing. I'll say the confidence from dancing inspired me a lot, like, you know, moving, expressing myself in different ways since I was younger, and also cheerleading. I did cheer, and it was always that tight-knit community,
Right.
and it was always, I give thanks to Coach Sabrina, and also Dr. Solomon. She's my elementary school principal, and she really instilled in us, like, that lead and taking that role and just
Yes.
making that change, even if it's small, picking up that little piece of paper. That's being a leader, even if you don't see it, you know.
Yes.
You know, integrity, you know,
I
really
get it.
having that throughout your whole walks of life, you
I
know.
love that.
So I'll say from young, like the Roosevelt community really inspiring me to make better change.
Yes, I
That's
love
really where
that.
I got it from.
And you noticed that at a very young age.
Yeah,
I
like
love that.
especially when I was in student council, I wanted to run for different stuff, like National Honor Society, National Elementary Honor Society. So I was been in the organization since I was in 6th, 5th grade. So yeah,
Like that feeling of belonging, and
Yeah.
also that feeling of connecting with others. I love that. I really, really do. Well, I know that you're part of the NAACP. As I mentioned, that's where I met you.
Yes.
So your involvement with the NAACP and Friends of Congo as well demonstrates a
Yes.
deep commitment to social justice.
Yes.
What motivates you to continue this work, and what are some of the most important lessons you've learned along the way?
yes. So I joined the NAACP during my sophomore year. Definitely during my sophomore year. It was in February. That was like January 2023 in my sophomore year. And I was like, I felt left out in my school kind of. And I was like, I need to be a part of something outside of my school to make me feel more sense of belonging.
Right.
So I joined the NAACP, and I found such a tight-knit community, like with Frank, Miss Lois, Alicia, and my sister Naila.
Right.
And we were really a small group, but then now we're expanding, and we're getting more members, and we're going to national conventions in Vegas next year,
Nice.
Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're really putting ourselves out there, but our main goal is to make youth in our community a better version of themselves.
Yes.
And have them have guidance, you know? So
That's wonderful. How
Yes.
how are you doing that? What exactly? I know you have meetings as well.
Yes.
So what are you discussing in these meetings? What is the core meaning of,
Right.
of the NAACP in that particular area, Roosevelt and Freeport?
I'll say definitely civic engagement, getting people registered to vote as of right now. I know during the summer it was more of, fun fact, we're having an executive committee meeting after this,
Okay.
actually. So we're just going to discuss ways. We're having a plan to have more college workshops for students applying, rising seniors applying to
Yes.
college. So it's that, preparing students for the next step after high school, and getting young people registered to vote as of right now. So before October 7th, I believe. Yeah.
I
so
love that. I
yeah,
love
definitely. And we have we go to different community events. Like I know we were just in the Memorial Day parade. We're gonna be in the African American Day parade and doing different events like
Okay.
that. And then Friends of Congo, actually, that was a passion project I had during the school year. And I was like, this issue is, I could even say words about it, the exploitation of labor
Yes.
and the poverty there. It's worse than a Great Depression in the 1930s.
How did you become involved with that? How did you even hear about?
So I saw it on like Instagram. I was like, I'm like, what is this about? Like, I started seeing it a lot. I saw graphics and images. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I need to do something about it. And in our school, we have a civics project, I believe it's called, or a do something project. And I use that as my do something project. And I reached out to the Friends of Congo to have be a virtual guest speaker.
Right.
And they spoke to all the AP World classes about the issue. And Passy was also a ongoing witness of this issue, of the Civil War going on.
Right.
So he really told his story. He spoke about how he plays music to get through the hard times.
Yeah.
He spoke about different ways, the struggles of being an activist in the actual Congo. And Maurice is the CEO of Friends of Congo, and now we're planning for Congo Week of 2024. So I'm going to include my school and also try to include some of the efforts with the NAACP, like with our council by itself. So
how do you support them, actually?
So I attend the meetings to plan for the Friends of Congo Week.
Okay.
I spread awareness about it. I tell people like what's going on, and that's really what I do. I try to donate money, but
I know, yeah. You still got too many activities. I know you don't have a job right now, right? Yeah.
And also getting people to sign different petitions.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you get the adults involved and they see how passionate you are about it, obviously that's where the funds can actually come in to play. So how do you balance, I mean, all of these activities that you are in with your social activism and advocacy? How do you do that?
I'll say I have friends, but not a lot of friends. So I probably only have like 3 good friends.
Which is good.
Yeah, so like I really just focus on my goals, like what's important to me right now, prioritizing and time management, I'll say. Just really figuring out what's important to me and what do I want and not what other people want out of me, you know? Because I don't really follow all the trends. I do not my own thing, but things that's going to benefit me for not only my future, but just right now.
Right.
So I'll say I balance both my extracurricular activities, my schoolwork, and on my social justice activism by just communicating with all the people I work with, saying, hey, I'm not feeling that great today, I won't be able to make it. Just being clear about my feelings and how I'm going to be able to operate for that day.
Right, I hear you. That's beautiful. Well, I understand because the day I met you, you had just won an NAACP award. What was the award?
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you again.
Thank
I
you.
Congratulated you that day. I came up to you. I was like, I got to meet that girl. I got to talk to her. You, again, you have such presence and I know that you know who you are and where you want to go in life. You just mentioned you know what's important to you. What is important to Haniyyah?
I'll say, like my mom always says, like do unto others as you want done unto yourself. So I say just having empathy for other people and really understanding them. I'll say like not judging a book by its cover. And that's like a lesson I learned when I first came to Kennedy. Like I was just judging them like based on their race and their color. And I wasn't thinking past that. I was just thinking, oh, they're this, they're that, they're not like me. So after like really feeling like, you know, like just be kind to other people, have empathy, and really just do unto others as you want done unto yourself. And I feel like that really gets you far. Like just understanding people, but don't be too much of a people pleaser. Still set up boundaries, but just understanding why and how they act, why they do it, and stuff like that.
Get an understanding of who they are. Diversity and inclusion. I mean, we're living in a very divided world right now, and I hear obviously that you're working to encourage people to vote. No matter who you vote for, just get out there and vote.
Voter registration.
Exactly. Like your voice needs to be heard. It's about empowering our voices. So tell me how important, especially now in the world that we're living in now, you have a younger sister. How important is it for us to help those who cannot be heard or who don't know how to speak up, empower their voice?
I'll say the first thing is speaking to them and just really understanding their story. You know, after you understand their story, see if they're comfortable with going to the next step of, is like, there's this different planning stages. So it depends on how big or small their issue might be, but just making them more comfortable to understanding that your voice really matters. And you have many different resources now in 2024 with all these different gadgets, with AI and computer science advancements. So you have all the resources ever possible to really get your voice and story out there. And for other people who went through the same exact thing, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only person who went through that.
That's right.
So having those platforms, like You're Our Unity, having these platforms to really share your story, but making sure the person is comfortable with it and knowing that their voice really matters, I'll say is a big step to getting people to share their voice, and why it's so important. Because they're not the only person who went through it.
Exactly,
So,
they're not alone. You're absolutely right. So speaking of, you being able to sort of adjust to your new environment, there's a lot of people out there that experience that very same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
What advice would you give them? Because you said it, like you walked in and you had already judged everyone because they didn't look like you, and you're probably going by preconceived thoughts and notions of everyone else. So how can you share with others how to get past that?
Okay, so it's different if you're a boy or a girl, because many of the white people love black boys for some reason. I don't know, but
Really?
they love them, especially if they play football. That's a bonus.
Okay,
They love them.
okay.
They don't really, it's not like a big thing for them. But if you're a black girl, it's really kind of different, you know? So if you're a black boy, I'll just say, keep your head high up, but remember why you're there. And not everyone loves you for you. And I'll say, know the friends, why they want to get close to you. Like, what do they want out of you? Really monitor the people around you. And if they keep, like, really just understand why you're there, and just making sure the people you're friends with are really want to be friends for you.
Genuinely,
and not your genes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely, especially on sports teams.
I like
Exactly.
that.
Don't let people use you for your body in football. Don't let people, especially for a boy, don't let the coaches, kind of like call out, oh, you're a black man, you can, no.
I get
you're
that.
you're a human being.
I get that.
If you're a black girl or a person of color or any African descent, I'll just say, be you. Be unapologetically you. Whether that's wearing your hair in a certain way, whether that's writing your notes in a different way. It comes down to the way you walk, Be yourself in any single way. If you want to talk the way you talk, you could talk the way you talk. It's ratchetdemic. Even if you're a little bit ratchet, you're still smart, and you can still bring whatever someone has to the table and 10 times more. So just be yourself, because just because you talk a certain way, just because you dress a certain way, doesn't mean you're not smart. So especially in that case, just be yourself. And if the boys don't like you, who cares? There's black kings out here who love you for yourself, who love you for your natural hair.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Confidence.
Yes,
you
exactly.
have to have confidence in who you are and what you stand for.
Exactly.
No matter where you come from and how you represent or present that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's basically what I'm hearing you say. So
Yes.
I think that's fabulous. What changes in particular are you hoping for this world that you're about to enter? You got one more year of high school. You're soon going to be in college. And if you've already started all of these groups and winning all of these awards and accolades, then I can only imagine how much bigger and broader it's going to be in college. What are you hoping for the future, and how do you plan on impacting that?
Well, for BSU, back to school cookout, I'm waiting for that, because I really want that to happen. Okay, are we gonna do our little two-step in that cookout? Right. Okay, I would love for that to happen.
Yes.
But on the all jokes aside, in my future, I really hope that students in JFK start to understand each other on a deeper level, and not just being a student, but really understanding their diversity, why we dress a certain way, really understanding our history of all our cultures. I really hope that happens in JFK, and it's starting to happen a lot.
Right.
It's a slow transition, but it's really happening, because it used to be so homogeneous in Kennedy, But now it's really starting to get more diverse. So I really hope in Kennedy that students really start to understand each other, why we view certain issues the way we view them, and really becoming more united.
Right.
For my future, I really hope that I'm happy, like especially happy,
Yes.
and that I'm really helping my community,
love
whether that's
that.
being a lawyer, whether that's being an architect, wherever I am.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that I'm inspiring other people to just be happy, be there, be themselves.
What do you love most about the life that you're living right now, with everything that you have going on, and all of the support that you have, which I think is amazing, and not just from your school community and your peers, but from your family?
Right.
How does that make you feel, and what do you love most about it?
I feel really blessed, and I'll say the thing I love the most right now is my family, because if I'm always with them. If I'm, like I told you, I don't really have that many friends.
Yes.
But I really love my family and like the joy they bring me and the comfort they bring me,
Yes.
no matter what. And also my boyfriend Ian.
Oh, you
Yeah,
have a
see-
boyfriend?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay.
He
Good.
really helps me. He really guides me and really gives me that extra boost of confidence and support I really need. Like I was having a hard time, getting back into cheer because of past issues that I had with like other cheerleaders on my team.
Right.
But he really helped me to gain my confidence back and to really remind me, like help me stretch and stuff like that. So I really thank him as well.
I love that. We're in a time right now where mental health is serious and impacts so many. Have you noticed through your programs that you have at your school that you've helped maybe some kids that were going through some things
Right.
and sort of needed guidance and support?
I'll say one person. I know that I don't know if I helped other people, but I know one person specifically really expressed to me like they really want this to happen, and they actually two. Probably a little more, actually, probably a little bit more. But I think personally, like the personal connection I had with this one individual really helped her believe that she can do whatever she really wants to do, and she had that support in that platform to express her voice. So.
What do you think is affecting a lot of kids right now? Like, what is the number one issue that you're hearing them actually share?
I don't think they shared it, but I think
Okay.
I see it. I think it's the drug abuse and the social media lifestyle kind of thing, like having that aesthetically pleasing lifestyle, taking those low exposure pictures and making it seem like your life is so lavish.
Yes.
And so you can add it to your life kind of highlight on Instagram.
Right.
I'll say this, people think Instagram is real life, but it's really not in a way.
Yeah.
And I'll say drug abuse, because a lot of kids that I know smoke a lot, and they say they're not addicted, but if you're doing it every day, then what does
Then
that
you're
look like?
addicted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's just like giving them another outlet
Yes.
to really go through those emotions and not resorting to those drugs,
I love that.
Yeah.
And you're so right. That there has to be another way for them to cope, and
Yeah.
it's so unfortunate that sometimes they don't have the support that they
Yeah.
need, and the people that can
Right.
speak up and say, because
Yeah.
if you really think about it, for a lot of these kids, it's happening within their family, and if it's okay with them, then
Yeah.
why should it be a problem
Right.
for me?
Right.
But because you want them to succeed and excel in life, then these are the things that you
Yeah.
need to do and choose another path.
Exactly.
So let me ask you in terms of that, like, guiding these students and guiding these people who are, struggling right now, what would you, say to them if they were listening right now?
I'll say whatever you're going through, someone else is going through as well. You're not alone at all. You're
Yes.
not alone. And there's people out there who will see you for you. And your situation, if it doesn't get better, it will get easier for you to deal with.
Yes.
It will get easier for you to deal with. Exactly. And I feel as if I don't know, I can't understand you. I cannot understand what you're going through at all,
Right.
but I'm here for
Yes.
you. And other people are also here for you. And like I said, there's other people, there's different organizations that literally build themselves up for people like you, for
Yes.
people who go through the same issues like you.
Yes.
Like the NAACP, if you're interested in social justice, it's a group for you.
Yes.
If you're interested in helping the climate, there's a nonprofit for you. There's different groups that really help people that are interested or go through the same problems as you're going through right now.
Yes.
So I would just say keep your head up, and if you have a goal, just think of that goal every day and think about, is this what I'm doing right now helping me get to that goal? If not, then don't do it.
Yeah, I love that. You being such a strong leader, what challenges have, you've come against that really did sort of deplete you a little bit or defeat you a little bit, but you were able to overcome
Right.
it so that they can understand, even though, I can't be you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that are
Yeah.
out there where I'm not like you. Like, you're smart and you're this. So I'm sure you came up against challenges.
Yeah.
So tell me how you overcame those things.
Okay, first one I say academic validation. That's really bad. Like if I get a 80 or something, I'll be like sad and stuff like that. I'll beat myself up about it. But another obstacle I had to go through was like when I was younger, I was always a tall girl, and I guess boys never really it was just like, oh, you're the tall girl, like we don't so they
Right.
dated my other friends and stuff
Right.
like that. So even though I was like, I would never date you, but it was
Right.
just like,
Still, yes.
it was just like, I think just knowing that you're worth so much more and that you come from a great line
Yes.
of people before you.
Yes.
Your ancestors are always with you,
Yes.
and you came from a long line of trailblazers and people who fought for you. So you need to remember that you're here not because only your mom and dad, but because of plenty other moms and grandparents.
Yes, yes.
So you really come from a line of people who care for you and you're living their wildest dreams.
Yes.
So I'll say, even if you can't be like me, which I feel like some people are better than me, but you are your own person. Nobody's meant to be like someone else.
Right.
And your path is going to be completely different from mine. But you need to understand that you belong.
Yes.
You belong.
Yes, I love that. What do you aspire to be when you grow up? What are your dreams, and what colleges are you trying to get into?
I'm having a little trouble picking my major.
Okay.
For next year, 1 minute I want to do computer science, 1 minute it's political science, 1 minute it's even agriculture. So I'm just really trying to find that middle placement. But I know when I get older, I definitely want to continue helping the NAACP with their efforts. If that's being a lawyer maybe,
I love
or a graphic designer, I really want to continue helping them. Just helping my community. I'm an aspiring change maker, so as long as I can help make change, then I'm definitely going to be in that field. It doesn't matter if it's STEM, history, wherever I can make change, I'm there.
That's where you're going.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we need you here at Your Our Unity, my friend. So we'll talk about that later, because you are definitely a change maker, a peace builder, all of those things, and you're doing it literally within a diverse community. And I think that's what's so important. You're not fighting the same fight, and not that it's bad, but fighting the same fight of those who look like you.
Right.
But
It's
it's those,
everyone.
it's everyone, and that is so
Yes.
important. So with everything that you have going on, where do you find fun? What do you like to do for fun?
I'll say definitely binge watch Netflix.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I started kind of stretching and working out, and that's making me feel better. And also I'll say cheer. Definitely, cheer is definitely fun. And going on Pinterest and kind of finding like new outfits to style. Like I like styling new outfits. That's really fun.
What is your creative side do?
Well, creatively, I will say like styling outfits.
Okay,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like I'm into like this, like I did my hair like this, so I'm like
Oh, it's
trying
beautiful.
new hairstyles. Like
Yes.
I know my mom's tired of me with these new hair. But like trying new hairstyles like this, like the bubble braids. Like I had Bantu knots the other day, and now I'm like, I guess my hair journey is like really like kind of like my creative side, like
Right.
really like expressing like how I'm feeling and like how like I want my hair to be, like uniquely
Right.
and stuff like that. So.
I love that. I love that. Well, let me ask you, looking ahead, what are your long-term goals for yourself and your community, and how do you plan to continue empowering others through your work?
So for me, like my long-term goals, I definitely want, like I'm thinking like probably when I'm 30 or like 40, whatever, that's like really long-term. But I definitely want a house with the ocean in the back, but also a lot of like forests.
Okay.
Still, though.
Are we still in Long Island?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we still in
Probably
Long
in the
Island.
North Shore. But
Okay.
yeah, I definitely want a house like that. I definitely want to have a kind of like when I was growing up, it was called Michelle's.
Okay.
So definitely like my sister and me were talking about creating a school.
Yes.
Kind of like a Michelle's like upward prep kind of.
I know Michelle's. It's no longer open?
No longer.
No,
So like we wanted to create
stop.
something like that again. Because like it was like we know a lot of people from Michelle's. If we didn't have
Right.
Michelle's, we would have never knew all these people.
When did it close?
I think like 3-4 years ago.
Around the pandemic
five,
then.
maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we
that
want
was
to
a
create something like
staple,
that again,
yes.
and like a dance school and like athletic complex. Like that's like my long-term goals. Like I want something like that. Definitely a nonprofit to go with that.
Yes,
So
I
yeah.
love that. So you want to continue
Yeah.
to just give back to your community in any way you possibly can and uplift the youth, obviously, and let them know that they can do anything that they put their minds to and that they just have to have confidence and believe in themselves.
Yes.
What would you like to leave us with? Something that I'm not asking you, you just want to share.
Definitely hit my sister Insta up. Reality of Naila, REALITY of Naila, NAILAH. She knows how to host Airbnbs.
Okay.
And she also knows how to do digital marketing. So
Nice.
she's really an entrepreneur. And if you really want to learn that stuff, go buy her ebook.
Okay.
It's on her Instagram.
I love that.
Yes.
So she's a creator as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So you have a tight-knit family, obviously. I love that. Well, we just want to thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here, part of the You Are Unity show. You have been a wealth of information and inspiration. I wish you the very best in your future endeavors, and I want you to continue to stand strong, not only for yourself, but for those that need you. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's clear that your community needs you.
Yes.
So keep pouring into them, give them everything that they desire, and let them know that with empowered voices, we can achieve so much.
Right.
We really, really can.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. We're going to put your information up. You can follow her on Instagram and just tell me what that means or say it.
Monazia is my middle name, actually.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
love it. Haniyyah Myricks. I love it. So that's MMONAZIA?
Yes.
All right. So you can follow her on Instagram if you're interested in finding out what she has going on next. If you want to connect so that you can support any of the causes that she is so passionately supporting herself. I love it. Thank you so much, Haniyyah. I
Thank
appreciate you. All right. So we're going to get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And it is. Empowering voices is not just about being heard. It's about igniting change, fostering understanding, and building a future where every story matters. Join us, Haniyyah and I, in amplifying the voices of those who inspire change. Take action today, support youth leadership, advocate for social justice, and create spaces where every voice can be empowered and uplifted. And that's exactly what this amazing young lady said. If we just empower not only our own voices, but other voices, we can uplift, we can strengthen, we can amplify the voices in our community and eventually change our society, unite our society, make our society more peaceful.
Yes.
I like to thank you guys, and I like to thank you as well, Haniyyah. But I like to thank you guys for tuning in to another fabulous episode of Your Our Unity. I want you to remember that peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So let's go out there and be some love, share some love, and just give some love. We will see you next week, but we like to thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we love you, and we will see you soon. Have a good night, everyone. We love you.